You have conducted a performance of an orchestra with your sister as soloist.
Yeah, 2 times.
It was, if I have my biography correct, for this part of the program, it was the Simón Bolívar Youth Orchestra in Venezuela.
Yeah.
That's quite a prestigious, powerful, amazing orchestra in and of itself. How did that come together? Who got the call first?
Well, it's kind of a long story about
We have about 2 minutes.
Okay.
I'm kidding. We have a little longer, but
no, I'll try and tell it quickly. I was in high school. I was in a youth orchestra in NEC, New England Conservatory, and we went on tour to Venezuela. And somehow, I think it was because I broke a string during the concert. The Jose Antonio Abreu, who is the founder and the sort of spiritual leader of El Sistema, saw me playing and asked me to come back the next year to play Cigan, the Ravel Cigan, with the orchestra. So I came back, and after that performance, he invited me, and I had to ask him a few times if he was really serious. He invited me to go on the American tour of the orchestra, which culminated in Carnegie Hall. I don't know if some of you were at that performance with Simon Rattle, the Shostakovich 10th Symphony. So I was playing in the first violin section, which was just a really unbelievable experience on so many different levels. And then after that, Jose Antonio Abreu asked me to come and conduct the orchestra, and we immediately thought of playing together. So
it's actually, if I
yeah,
can
go ahead.
just add, the month before, actually, Josh went down, 2006, I think, was your first time.
Yeah.
And he went down with our parents, and you were still in high school, I think, or
was
just
freshman,
out.
yeah.
And they were talking my ear off about El Sistema, actually, and I was saying, oh, this sounds incredible, but I'd never been there myself. And then I saw it for myself for the first time when I went with the Simón Bolívar Orchestra and Gustavo Dudamel in 2009, December 2009. And I did a tour of Venezuela with the orchestra. I played Dvorak Concerto, and of course I completely fell in love with the country and the music making that's going on there. And our concert then, they also wanted to invite me back, and so then our concert actually, our times then coordinated. So we went in January 2010.
Yep.
And
You
we
played
went together.
Shostakovich first concerto.
Exactly.
We're almost done because we want a little time for questions from you, and Alisa is going to play for us too, which is quite special. In performance together, does the brother-sister relationship affect the music making, or are you able to keep it apart, as your parents apparently so wonderfully did in teaching you both?
Should I?
You go first.
Okay. That's a good.
I realize that we would not get the same answer if one or the other of you were not here.
No,
that's okay. We'll take what we can get.
In terms of when I'm conducting and Elisa's playing, I feel it's actually a lot easier because my philosophy, if I have one of conducting, is that in a concerto the soloist is the boss, and whatever he or she does is what I do. So that's very easy, and the coordination and the rehearsal is more about me just asking her to clarify something or to help me a little bit figure out what she's doing. So that is a very easy relationship. I mean, when we play chamber music together, when I'm playing the violin, it's obviously more complicated, as it would be with any musician playing with their family member. So, but in terms of conducting and playing, it's a very easy, and actually I think it only affects it positively because we feel this sort of, vibe where we know what we are thinking, kind of.
Does that work for you, Alisa, to have a conductor who says, whatever you want, let me know what you want?
Yeah, I think I can live with that. No, but actually, to go along with what you were saying, I think of course, we are individuals and we have our own ideas, and sometimes we have differing ideas, but we share a kind of core, sort of, let's say, fundamental musical values, which makes things, of course, much easier when we're collaborating, even in a chamber music setting, where our parts are much more equal, and of course, then we can have that opens possibilities for
everything.
some spirited discourse, as it were. Yeah, and when I'm playing a soloist and Josh is conducting, he is actually very deferential. So this.
At what point, maybe it has to have happened because you're both mature musicians, when you play with your parents, and you, Alisa, have performed with your mother and father a great deal, have there been any musical disagreements there?
Oh yes.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Absolutely.
And
we would be worried if there weren't.
Yeah.
And how do those get resolved? I mean, is it you're all professional musicians together, or is it ever, you always want to stop at the third measure of this piece?
Everything.
All of it?
No, I mean, I think, let's say the biggest difference is from, let's say rehearsing in a more conventional setting is there's no sugarcoating of anything. We don't bother with pleasantries. I mean, if we have a disagreement, we just go straight at it. And, it leads to, as I said, spirited discourse. Yeah. So.